So hey guys, today we're going to take a look at another program from the whole linked list problems, and the problem statement is to find the nth node from the end of the linked list, right? So for example, here we are given with a linked list of like 9 nodes, and we're supposed to find the second last node from the linked list. So in this case, the second last node from the linked list is 8, so we're supposed to return the value from this linked list, right? So that's an easy way to solve this. It's pretty straightforward, and the way that we solve it is that we initially try to find the length of the linked list. So, for example, here we have it's pretty straightforward, right? You have like 9 nodes inside the linked list, and we're supposed to find n is equal to 2, which is the second last element, which is 8. So the way that we do is we find the length of a linked list first, and then we subtract n to it. So in this case, 9 minus 2 is 7, and then we return the seventh element, right? So we return the seventh element, we return the node, the seventh position in the linked list. So for example, here we have 0, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, right? So when we subtract both 9 and 2, we get 7, and we're supposed to return the seventh node from the linked list. So it's pretty straightforward, and now I'm gonna just code this out in Java. So initially we need to try to find the length of the overall linked list. So I'm just gonna create a temporary node here to keep track of the head, and then I'm gonna have a couple of variables to have like the length of the linked list, which I'm gonna set it to 0. Then what else do we need? We will go along. So I'm gonna calculate the length, and to do that, I'm gonna do an iteration, and then I'm gonna check if temp is not equal to null, and then I'm gonna increment length, and then I'm gonna move temp over to the next node on the linked list, right? So that's it. At this point, we've found the length, and that's one of the check that we need to do, right? So for example, here, in the case of for example, here, if we are just provided with just we're provided with just 5, if we're just provided with 3 nodes on the linked list, right? We have just 1, 2, and 3, and we're supposed to find the eighth node from the end of the linked list. We don't have like an eighth node, right? We just have like 3, and when we have just 3 nodes on a linked list, we won't be able to find the eighth node from the end of the linked list because we have just 3 nodes. So we can add a condition here to check that. We want to check if the length of the linked list is lesser than the node that we're supposed to find. In this case, we can just return -1, so the overall execution would end there. But if we are provided with the valued length and n, we can go ahead and calculate the nth position that we need. So just gonna set it to 0 initially. This position is calculated by subtracting the length with the n that we get from the program, right? So as we talked about, we calculated the length of 9, and then we get 2, and then when we subtract both, we get the position of the node that we're supposed to return. So there's just one more thing that we need to do. We need to iterate till the nth position of the linked list, so in this case 7, and then return the value at that node position, right? So here we have I is equal to 0, I is less than n position, and then I plus plus. Then I can then just do temp. Wait, before we do that, I just need to reassign temp to head so that we start all the way from the top, and then we do temp dot next, right? And then I'm gonna return the data at the temporary node. So that should pretty much do it. Let's compare and see if it runs. Yep. I'm gonna submit and see if it runs for all test cases. Yep. So looks like it did run for all the test cases, and that's pretty much it, guys. It's a pretty straightforward problem. See you again tomorrow with another problem.